Sharon New has done it all. Moved from South Africa to the UK, launched a successful children's footwear brand, and has now exited. She's humble, filled with advice, and a gem of a Foundry Pool member. This is Sharon's story. Hey, and welcome back to Work This Way. Today we're recording in Foundry Pool in Dorset, and we're joined by Sharon New. Sharon, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Really interested in hearing your story. I've heard snippets of your story because you invited me to a yoga session down on the beach at Rockwater to get to know you a little bit more, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you.
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah, and you have an amazing story, and it's got even more interesting very recently. So can't wait to get stuck into it. So Sharon, let's start from the early years. Where'd you grow up? And talk us through coming to the UK and pool.
Well, thank you, Adam, for having me here, first of all. I was born in Cape Town in South Africa, and I was 12 when my family moved back. They were British, and so I'm very fortunate that I've got a dual passport. We moved back. We moved to the north of England from Durban to Durham, and it was quite a shock.
Durban to Durham?
Yeah.
Please tell me you moved in the summer at least.
Yes, but it was 12 degrees. And I was wearing 3 jumpers, and I was thinking, oh my God, I love England. I love the snow in the winter, but in the summer I thought it'd be hotter. So that was quite a shock. Then we moved very quickly to Blackpool.
Blackpool?
Yeah. Which was actually really good fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For a teenager. And then my parents split up, and I just wanted to go and find my own way, and I moved to London just after my 17th birthday. So yes, so the first 12 years in South Africa, which was an amazing place to grow up, absolutely fantastic. It was during apartheid, so I have a lot of memories of what life was like then. Yeah. But as a child, you kind of just accept the situation. And I learned a lot more when I came to the UK. And then, yes, it was just go from there.
When you came to the UK with your parents originally, did you integrate relatively easily, or was it a bit of a challenge?
It's a good question, actually. Because
I'm thinking this is,
Yeah, it was during the miners' strike. Yeah. And we moved to Durham. And we had South African accents, and we said and we were seen as posh, and it wasn't very pleasant. We lived in a small village, a mining village, where most of the people living there were on strike, and we were sort of foreigners go home, but on the bus, which was really shocking. But I understood it almost, because I could see that we had a nice house, and we were living next to a council estate, and they had no money, and it was a real
terrible
learning.
Time.
Yeah, it was. I learned a lot. I came from South Africa, which had the real difference as well between the haves and have-nots.
Yeah. What attracted you to the big smoke when you decided to leave Blackpool?
Oh, bright lights, big city. Yeah. It was the 80s. It was yuppies. You must have heard of that. Young and upwardly mobile. Yeah,
big phones, Porsche turbos.
Such an optimistic time. And I tell my kids at the time, you could do anything. And also as a woman, it felt like really empowering, that you could just go for a job. And, there wouldn't be as many barriers as there were previously for your parents. I just wanted to get to London. I was so
Did you
excited.
crash land in London?
Yeah.
You just literally went for it?
I had a job in Blackpool at Miss Selfridge as the cosmetic consultant for the cosmetic counter there.
So Miss Selfridge was
part of Selfridges.
Selfridges, and they were smaller retail concessions around the country.
Yeah, fashion outlets.
Are they still Miss Selfridge? Is that still a thing, or
no? I think it's just recently.
Just Selfridges.
Just gone. Yeah. So you just got the main Selfridges.
Yeah.
And then they had a concession in the main Selfridges in London, and I went for a job at the age of 16 as the assistant manager. Wow. On the counter in Selfridges.
In Oxford Street?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
you've gone from Blackpool to Oxford Street?
Yeah. So I moved the week after my 17th birthday and worked on the counter there.
Where do you live?
So my uncle found a room with his friend in London who just so happened to be the manager of the store.
No.
So real coincidence.
Yeah.
I said to him, I've got to move in 2 weeks. I've got nowhere to stay. He said, I'll ring my friend Gail. And she happened to be the manager of the store, which was bizarre.
What do you remember most from that time?
I just remember that complete freedom and optimism. I can't quite believe I did it, really. You know, when I think of my children now who love being at home, and it's, you know, would never leave.
Yeah.
I just was so excited. And my first day working in Selfridges, I went out for dinner that night on my own. I just thought, well, what am I going to do? So I just went and sat in a restaurant and just thought about the day and had a really nice dinner. And then couldn't really afford that after that, but it was really nice to do the first night. And I was very ambitious. And within a year, I had been promoted to be the area consultant for the whole of the southeast of England, where I'd visit all the Miss Selfridges, train, recruit, and make sure that the cosmetic consultants were hitting their targets.
Shay, you were managing a team very young.
Yeah.
17, 18 years old, managing a team of 4, 5, 6 people on the counter, and then you're regional manager. How did that affect your confidence? And what leadership skills would you say you developed so early on?
At a young age, I was like, oh goodness, what do I do? But I fortunately had a very good manager who was very strict, and her name was Nazli Patel. And she was a real influence on me, and she taught me very quickly how to be strong and not take any nonsense. And she took me under her wing. She disciplined me as well. She was very strict with me. But I had my first and best proper Indian curry at her house. Went to meet her family. And so having a really good role model really helped. Of course, I made loads of mistakes. But the management team at the head office really liked me for some reason, and I worked really hard, and I just felt really looked after. Maybe it's because I was young. Maybe they did really want me to succeed.
Do you think your time under Nazli Patel has stayed with you through building the business and businesses?
Yeah.
And even today, as you venture into your new venture?
I mean, I'm not her, my management style is very different.
Yeah.
But it also taught me that there are different styles that work, and that also you need to sort of stick to your guns, which she was very good at doing.
You're
I just do it in a different way.
What came next?
I found that the retail environment was very, very difficult to work in. I was a bit fed up working weekends, and I found an opportunity with someone I'd met in Selfridges who was buying from me to work at their recruitment agency. So I did that for a while, and that was really good fun. And that was my first jump into the business world and talking B2B.
Yeah. Doing deals.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And that lasted for, I'd say, a year and a half. And then I started to travel a little bit and had a boyfriend that I wanted to go away with. And I started to do part-time temporary roles with British Telecom, as it was at the time, BT.
Yellow vans and blue. Can picture it. Yeah.
But I was doing administrative roles in finance, and so I was learning about other areas of the business. And I always, did quite well in those roles, even though they're part-time. I was offered to go permanent or full-time. And I saw a role come up as a sales executive on the phone, selling B2B. They set up these new teams in Chiswick, and they were really good fun. They were just banks of young people calling customers, introducing themselves and trying to sell them products. And that's when the internet was just starting, and computer connectivity, which hadn't ever happened before. So I found myself in the data world selling data links. And that was fascinating. As a woman, I was one of the first women to actually join the team. I had to negotiate my salary up because it was too low. And my father was saying to me, no, you've got the job. Don't mess it up. And I was like, Dad, this is the first thing you would do.
Yeah.
And I was successful. And because I'd negotiated my salary up, so did my other female colleagues get a lift up. So it was a really interesting time.
So, Sha, how did you end up in Poole? What brought you to Dorset?
I was working at BT and I met my husband, soon-to-be husband there, and he very quickly said to me, "You've got to come down to Poole and see the real me." And as I arrived here, I was just blown away by the beaches. I couldn't believe there was a beach life in England, so it reminded me so much of my South African beach life. And yeah, I fell in love with it.
Without the great whites.
Yeah. There's no great whites you need to worry about. Not in Cape Town, the water's too cold.
Yeah. So Sharon, you get married, you settle down in Poole. What did you do for work? What came next?
Well, we'd just come back from travelling after we got married, and so we started working in bars and places we knew. I started doing a little bit of modelling and promotional work for a local agency, which was really good fun. I met some really good friends that I'm still friends with now over those days. We were doing like cigarette promotions and things like that, which you just don't do anymore. And then
what a moment in time that must have been.
I know, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was really fun. And then I did a promotion for the RNLI, which was working at their boat shows and recruiting members to pay a direct debit to the RNLI. And I did that for about a year. And the person who had employed me to do that left the RNLI. I went for their role and joined the RNLI full time as a marketing manager.
So the RNLI, for our listeners and members across the network, RNLI stands for
Royal National Lifeboat Institution.
And the RNLI's head office is in Poole.
Yes.
On Poole Quay.
Yeah.
And it's where they build all the lifeboats, I believe.
And all that, well, they do a lot. They design them, they build some, and they train all the lifeboat crew there.
And one of the biggest employers in Poole, if not BCP.
Yeah.
And big hotel and factory and it's a
they
whole
do the
village
lifeguarding
there, right?
now as well.
Yeah. The beaches are all RNLI.
Yeah.
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 So big part of Dorset, big part of Poole in particular.
A very exciting, very special employer to work for. I'm really, really proud to have worked for them because even though you're paid, which most of the RLI is run by volunteers, but in head office, obviously, they have to have paid staff, you really appreciate what all the volunteers do. So everyone just gives their utmost.
So a lifeguard sat in the beach huts.
Yeah.
They are volunteers.
Some are, and some are paid because they have to make sure that they have people not year round, but from May to September, basically, when they're there.
Yeah.
And it's a great training ground for young people as well, because once they've done lifeguarding for a while, they could even start working within the RLI. So for local people, it's wonderful.
What an amazing thing to do if you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like a Saturday job, weekend job.
Yeah, yeah.
Go and sit in the hut and socially get
Socially,
involved down on the beach.
But also it trains you social skills and how to talk to people.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, so someone who's 16 or 17 talking to an adult and asking them to stop doing something that's dangerous is quite a skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the training they get is fantastic and really sets them up for life.
Your time at the RNLI, formative years from almost hard selling.
Yeah.
At various events all over the place to get those direct debits, those voluntary contributions, etc., to fund the RNLI, and your rise into management at the RNLI. What came next?
So I had my 2 children while I was there. So I felt very fortunate to be able to take some maternity leave and then go back to work. I did go back part-time, which again was very useful, but still at the same level. So they really respected, you know, women babies and leaving and coming back. It was a great employer from that perspective. And then I took my eldest daughter to South Africa on a holiday, and she was about to go to school. So I said to my godfather out there, what were the school shoes I wore as a child? I want to buy them for her. Because, of course, like here you have Clark's, which is the main brand. In South Africa, they had a brand called Toughies. Toughies, because they were known as being very tough. And he said to me, they're Toughies, you go and buy them in the shop. And I bought them. And I put them on her and said, look, don't they look gorgeous? And he said to me, come on, Sharon, where's your entrepreneurial spirit? I said, what do you mean? He said, you should be taking these to the UK. You should be selling them in the UK. And he was in the shoe business. So
Right, okay.
that's where his train of thought was coming from.
Right.
So I said, brilliant idea, but let me see if they're any good first. So when I got back, she wore them for a couple of months and I loved them. And parents were saying, oh, I love her shoes. Look at them. They were very classic and smart and very strong. So I contacted the company just one night, late at night, 10 o'clock, you're sitting on your laptop, and sent an email. And when I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning, there was a long response saying, we're really interested. What do you want to do? We'd love to be in the UK. So
It's amazing that wasn't tapped.
Yeah. I know.
Amazing.
And they are actually a worldwide company that owns the brand.
Right.
And the company is called Barter. And if you travel the world, you'll see Barter stores everywhere. They're a Czechoslovakian family-owned company. And they used to be in the UK.
Right.
Years and years ago. So it was just coincidence. We went to see them. We bought our first 100 pairs from them. I had parents knocking on my windows when I was working at home, sort of staring and saying, when are you getting those shoes? We want to buy them.
Yeah.
So it was a really good start. And I was working at the RNLI still. And I thought, do you know what? I've always wanted to do my own business. So maybe now I've done 10 years at the RNLI. It's time to move on.
You've got 100 pairs. You're in Poole. You're selling Toughies to mums and dads, to parents.
Yeah.
All going really well. How did you get this thing off the ground?
We had to start with just calling shoe shops.
Right.
And a friend of mine joined me, and we just sat one at each end of the dining table.
There's me thinking you set a website up. I mean, hello.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
First of
Hello.
all, we wanted to sell wholesale.
Yeah.
We wanted to sell to retailers. So we just called shoe shops.
Yeah.
And
that's how you did it, right?
Yeah.
Yellow pages.
Yeah.
Got the yellow pages
Yeah.
out. Got your
Absolutely.
analog phone out.
Yes.
Brr, brr.
She had the landline, I had a mobile.
Goodness me.
And then we went to see the first store, and they bought 70 pairs and said, yep, when can you deliver them?
Wow.
So that was really, really,
You
really
must have been
good
buzzing.
news. Yeah, it was great.
I bet you cracked a bottle of wine.
Yes,
Bottle of champagne
maybe.
after that.
Yes,
or two.
maybe.
Yeah.
And then as things progressed, I remember we sold 10,000 pairs to Brantano. Do you remember Brantano?
10,000 pairs.
Yeah. And then I cracked champagne on that one.
I
most
bet you
definitely.
did. Brantano,
Yeah.
they still
No, they've gone
retailer?
out of
They're out of
business now.
yeah.
But yeah, that was
Like a
very
Dykeman
exciting.
kind of
Yes,
brand, yeah.
like a warehouse
Yes.
store.
Yeah, yeah.
A destination store, you travel there. And so a very big store, sold loads of brands. And they took 10,000 pairs. At one of our very first trade shows we went to, Amazon approached us and said, can we sell your shoes on Amazon? And it's so funny, this was in 2010. I was umming and ahhing going,
Amazon
good
books. Yeah.
yeah, it was books and CDs and
Yeah.
a bit of apparel, but they didn't have any school shoes on there.
So did you go for
Yes, of course.
Wow.
And we
So you were a really early mover
Yeah,
in e-com.
yeah. We really embraced it. We were early adopters of
Yeah.
everything because we were new. We just give it all a go.
But massive volume, surely.
Yeah. Well, it started off with just ones and twos, but Amazon actually bought from us and stocked the shoes.
I see, yeah. So,
So we weren't
in
like a reseller.
third-party logistics almost, yeah.
So they actually were. We were there. They were our customer,
Right.
and we were their
They-
supplier.
they bought stock.
product. Yes. So it grew and grew and grew, and I think it's because South Africans were looking for Toughies and found Toughies, and then of course it grows organically up the list of Amazon. So
Yeah.
then other people find Toughies, and so it was doing really, really well. I think from year 2 to 3 we grew 2,000%. And the buyer was bringing us in every couple of months to talk to us and talk about the next orders. It was really, really fantastic.
Were you having to go to South Africa a lot, or was it you were going to
Yes.
Czechoslovakia?
No.
Just South Africa.
I was going to South Africa because that's where the brand was from.
Right.
Even though it was owned by the global shoe company,
Yeah.
it was a South African brand.
So you're getting to go home a little bit as well
Yes.
and see family, which is
Yeah.
nice at the time.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
We'd go at least twice a year
Yeah.
for the 2 seasons.
And just ballpark volume at that point.
So we were talking about 20,000 to 30,000 pairs.
So you were a significant player to the
yes.
factory at this point.
Yeah.
Early on as
yeah.
well.
I mean, they sold 4 million pairs
Yeah,
in South
yeah.
Africa, but they were so excited to be able to export. And the chairman who owned the company knew about us and he'd come and meet me for lunch in Sandbanks.
Wow.
with his family, and we'd go to South Deep and have
Yeah.
lunch. And he was the family, the chairman,
Yeah.
third generation owner. So yeah, we were well known. They were really excited about what we were doing.
It's 2015. You're knocking out 30,000 pairs of Toughies into the UK market. What came next? How did you grow the business from that?
So we were waiting for our back to school shipments to arrive. It was May. They would normally arrive June, July. And the factory were being a little bit elusive. And when we finally got hold of someone and said, when's the shipment coming? They just said, we've just had a massive warehouse fire and we've lost 1 million pairs.
What?
Yeah.
1 million pairs?
Yeah. And we were
With
just
school
stunned.
starting back?
Yeah. So for them, it wasn't such an issue because their back to school season is January.
Oh, right.
So these were just shoes that they had in stock and also our order. So we had to start again.
How many pairs did you have?
Well, we had, I think, 40,000 pairs for that back to school season.
Oh my goodness, your business.
Yes.
This is critical.
Yeah. And including 10,000 pairs to go to Amazon. But they couldn't rustle up the shoes quickly enough for us because they were trying to also replace their stock. Fortunately, we'd heard about a factory in India that we wanted to go and see. So we just jumped on a plane and said to them, can you manufacture school shoes for us now to get to us in July? Had to be towards the end of July.
And presumably you flew with a pair, sample.
We knew they made school shoes
Yeah.
for Next, for Hush Puppies, for some of the major supermarkets. And so we just looked at their styles that were available because obviously certain styles belong to certain brands that you can't then make. And we got a double Velcro, single Velcro, a girl's Mary Jane, a lace-up. And we didn't even tell our customers. We just got them to make the shoes for us, got them over in time, sent them, stamped Toughies, and said to our customers, we're really sorry, they look actually a bit different, but please, we know you need school shoes, so we wanted to get you something. And I don't think one customer sent them back. They just said, yeah, I need shoes, I need to be able to sell.
That's
now.
really tenacious of you.
Brave, and maybe a bit, it's the, ask for
Of
forgiveness,
course.
not permission. Yeah. And also we just had to do something.
Well, it's a bit that there was no option at that point.
Yeah. The one issue we had was that we couldn't send them to Amazon. Because, of course, Amazon, you've got the image on the screen, you've got the barcode, you've got the item code.
There's 10,000 pairs outstanding.
Yeah. So we had to forfeit that.
How did that affect your relationship with Amazon at the time?
Amazon were really great, and we tried to connect the two pages. So we set up the new styles on Amazon, and we tried to say, can you link the pages with the barcode to say this is the new style? And they tried everything, but they just couldn't do it. It was too complex an operation, and their website just didn't work like that. So we ended up having to walk away and say, right, we're missing this season. We'll start to grow the new shoes organically. But of course, that takes a long time.
Yeah.
And it kind of dwindled from there. And Amazon became no more. Just a few pairs sold by ourselves as a marketplace seller.
Right.
Unfortunately.
As entrepreneurs, when your back's against the wall, you're clutching at straws at this point. You're 40,000 pairs short, 10,000 going to Amazon. You got school starters back in September. I get why you had to do that, and you saved the business, right?
Yes.
And the consumer needed shoes.
Yeah.
No one goes back to school with the same shoes they left.
No.
Everyone's feet are grey.
No, it's the main season.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas for the school uniform or school shoe
of
business.
Course. So something that you touched on was effectively stamping another product with Toughies brand. How did that go? And how did you navigate that conversation?
It was interesting because the management had changed in South Africa, so it wasn't the people who had supported us the whole way. And I think they were slightly pissed off about it. But they'd let us down. So there was a negotiation to be had. And as it happened, they then said, the person who's dealing with you now is based in Singapore, not in South Africa where the factory is.
Yeah.
So we had to liaise with this person in Singapore, different time zone. And he basically wasn't very friendly about it, but said, OK, we understand this shipment, but going forwards, if you want to continue, we're going to charge you a 10% royalty. which was massive. Because if you think in a business, we're paying agents to sell for us 10%.
Yeah. It's
We're,
eroded your margin, surely.
yeah. And then the Indian factory cost twice the price of the South African factory.
For the product
Yeah,
itself.
because it had tariffs on it, which the South African product didn't have. And also the manufacturer was more expensive.
Don't we all know about tariffs at the moment?
Yes.
Hot topics.
Yeah. And there's still tariffs on India, even though they've made a deal, apparently.
Oh,
but
right.
they haven't changed the tariffs yet.
So is it still the case now with South Africa?
Yes, 0% tariffs.
Is that right?
Which is great. Yeah. So, yes, I'm always looking in South Africa to see if we can start manufacturing there again. And it's a great, the Indians and the South Africans are great to do business with. Mm-hmm. I feel very fortunate. I think the reason the business has survived is because the factories are so helpful.
Term was born.
Yes.
A Bellini. And Term popped into your head. Mm-hmm. Your first season selling Term was 2017?
Yes.
So how did growth of Term and how did you grow Term into the market? I guess at this point it was e-commerce as well as wholesale.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously we had to have our website.
Yeah.
We had a Toughies website before, but it wasn't, because Amazon was doing so well. We didn't really need to focus on that.
But you'd lost Amazon at this point.
So
right?
we'd lost Amazon. We'd gone to a new factory. It was double the price.
Tariffs.
Yeah. We set
Wholly
up,
different business now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We set up our own trademark, which was Term. So that first year was, I must say, bumpy, because we had our retailers we were selling wholesale to. We were just beginning the website, getting that set up. So it was a small year. Turnover really shrank while we started the business again.
And you and your husband at the time were running this business.
Yeah.
I'm assuming from home, or were you?
Yes. Yeah. We worked from home.
Yeah.
At that time, we moved to a new warehouse where we had an office. So we worked in the office near the warehouse. We were doing our own pick and pack, as well as selling, as well as websites, as well as buying, finance, everything. Yeah. Just trying to keep it going.
Yeah.
But we're very good at, giving the outside world the picture that everything's fine. And look at this, isn't this amazing?
Yeah.
This is growing. And we were very excited to have our own products as well.
Yeah.
Our own
This
brand.
is your shoe brand now.
Yes.
That's the key difference here.
Yeah.
You're not selling yours. It's your brand. You developed it.
Yeah. And what was key was the factory were amazing. Mm-hmm. We knew some of the contacts with the factory just from being in the shoe business. And some of their business had gone down. They'd had a brand that they were selling that's been... that they were producing that had been bought by an American company that didn't understand school shoes. So they weren't pushing school shoes anymore, and their production was going down of that particular brand. So it just so happened that the factory at the same time was looking for a new customer.
Right.
So we turned up and they said, yeah, we'll help you. We'll give you 60 days payment terms. We'll give you, which for a factory is unbelievable.
Unheard of, yeah.
And they just bent over backwards for us, really. And so that really helped.
What was the moment for you with Term that you just saw sales go?
It was probably when we started working with Costco.
Costco.
Yeah.
Biggest retailer in the world?
The third biggest.
Third biggest retailer in the world?
You've got Walmart, Amazon, Costco.
Really? Incredible.
Yeah. So Costco have 29 warehouses in the UK, but they're also worldwide.
Yeah.
Uniform isn't worldwide. It's a British thing. And ex-colonies.
School uniform is a British thing.
Yeah. So if you think of the Americans, they don't wear uniform.
Correct.
They wear.
Yeah, they don't. They just wear what they want.
They wear what they want and sneakers. Yeah. They don't wear school shoes.
They wear Nikes to school.
Yeah. Yeah. So funnily enough, I'd seen my brother who was working in Costco. I went to see him in Cardiff, and I noticed in Costco that they were selling Hunter kids' wellies. And we also did wellies as well as the school shoes, just to keep us going in the winter. And it was a bit of fun. Mm-hmm. So I'd said to my brother, can you find out who the buyer is? Because we want to contact them. And so we got in contact with them and we started selling school shoes and wellies in Costco, but on sale or return promotions, on consignment.
Big risk.
Yeah, very big risk. So you're basically putting 4 pallets of shoes in or wellies and taking back what's not sold.
Yeah.
But Costco insists that they always look full, so you're always replenishing, and you end up taking back quite a lot. They get damaged, they get lost, they get, but it was really good exercise for us because it kept the factory happy because we had volume. We were buying lots from them.
And are these in 29 Costco?
No, we would only do a few
Right.
because you had to manage them yourself.
Yeah.
You had to man them. So we couldn't do 29.
So you were having to do all the shipping, everything, literally.
The merchandising.
Yeah. So having to go to the Costco store.
Yeah.
You're almost like a market trader.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah.
But fortunately, we had lots of people who were retiring, friends from the shoe business, and they say, we'll go in for minimum wage and just tidy it for you and keep an eye on it. And so we sort of rallied people round.
I hadn't appreciated that was the model then.
Yeah.
It's
and they still do
a pitch.
That. Yeah. They do promotions. They're called special events,
right.
where you put your product in for 2 weeks, you sell what you can, you take it out. And Costco love that because it keeps inventory fresh, keeps their members, because you have to be a member to go to Costco.
Yes,
you have to pay an annual fee.
Yeah.
It keeps their members interested and wanting to come back to see what's new in store. So they encourage it. So
Costco was a huge moment for you.
Yeah.
Big learning curve.
Yeah. Very hard work. Made a bit of money. Didn't really, wasn't amazing.
But volume.
But it gave volume to the factory. And it also made us seem bigger than we were.
Recognition.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And then the moment came where we eventually spoke to the buyers and they bought our product from us rather than us doing sale or return.
And that was the key moment.
Yeah. And that was due to COVID.
Right. So now we're 2020.
Yeah.
And Costco are buying Term.
Yeah.
Big volume.
And that was because we could supply during COVID. So we did promotions during COVID. We had a warehouse full of wellies at the time, and they just sold out because Costco was one of the only stores open as an essential retailer. And the country manager walked past and said, we should be buying these. They shouldn't just be on a promotion.
A country manager.
Yeah.
So someone
the country
who runs,
manager for Costco.
Someone who runs Germany.
No, the UK.
UK.
Yeah. And he said we should be buying these. So we got an order for 22,000 pairs.
Wow. What a moment.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was another pop a bottle, I'm sure.
It was, yeah.
In the new household.
And then from then, we then went back to the next year and said, why aren't you buying the school shoes? And they said, well, we need to sell £100,000 a week on a product before we'll buy it. And fortunately, I had 4 years of sales data of doing the promotions. And I said, well, we've only been in 6 Costco's, but if you multiplied it by the 29, we would have been doing 100,000. And they said, okay. And we got our first £150,000 order from.
So, Shab, between the period of 2020, 2025, a lot happened. Term as a product exploded into the market. We ended up selling into Europe, the e-com business, Costco. I assume you're back with Amazon at this point?
Yes, but we're doing FBA Marketplace, which is working well.
It's 2024. We were chatting.
Yeah.
And you did sort of talk to me about an exit on the cards. How did that go? And was there a moment when you wanted to exit this business?
Yes, there was. And it actually happened prior to 24. My ex-husband and I were working together. It was our business.
Yeah.
It is our business. And we decided to split up and get divorced. So we thought, well, this, it's still our livelihood. So this is a good time to look at if we could sell the business. So we approached school uniform retailers because we knew a lot of the companies. We'd been at the same trade shows.
Did the route to exit work for you?
Mm-hmm.
Did that strategy work in the end?
It did. We grew the business, fortunately, because of Costco. And also the product is a great product. And although some of our independent retailers were starting to close, as we know what's happening on the high street, we were finding more school uniform retailers were buying shoes because people would walk into the school shop and say, where do I buy my shoes? Because Clark's has closed down. So it was going in our favour, put it that way. And then we happened to be talking to a couple of more school uniform, not retailers, suppliers that we'd approached before. And they just happened to say, so how are things going? I can see you're doing well. And we said, yes, but we are still interested in selling the brand. So we started talking to two of them, and it's quite quickly whittled down to one serious contender. And then within 3 or 4 months, they'd bought the brand.
Wow.
So it's I'm really, really pleased because we've grown something from scratch and been able to sell it on to watch it grow again.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't want it to just die.
Yeah.
And the company that's bought it is a fantastic family-owned school uniform supplier, female CEO, which I think is great.
Yeah.
And the MD and the CEO that I work with are absolutely amazing, forward-thinking people. They're always looking for the next diversification, how they can grow the business. They're not stuck in a rut. And there's been quite a lot of legislation going through about school uniform at the moment, which means that you can't, a school can't insist on having lots of badged items because of the cost of living crisis.
Right.
So the company that's bought us has seen that that was coming and realised that they needed to have other products that they could sell, which is why they were interested as well in Term Footwear.
Sharon, yoga Sharon, not spending all day on the beach doing beach yoga. I'll have you down as that.
No.
What are you up to?
Well, I'm working for the company that bought us.
Of course you are.
I'm now the Term Footwear brand manager.
Wow.
And I'm making sure that Term is integrated into their company.
Yeah.
And we're on an earn-out, so we have to watch the sales and make sure that they keep growing. But it's a really exciting opportunity because we were selling to about 60 retailers, and they've got 600 to 800 retailers.
Oh, wow.
So you can see the growth.
Yeah.
And
are you travelling much? Are you getting?
No, I'm actually in Poole.
Yeah.
A lot more.
And how do you feel? Have you had any time off? Have you?
No.
You've literally gone from exit to.
If anything, I'm busier because I'm winding down the old company. We've sold the brand, but not the company.
Of course, yeah.
So we're winding down the old company, so that's taking a lot of work. And I'm working full time for the new company.
Yeah. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, absolutely love it. Although I'm an entrepreneur and I like working for myself, it's really nice having a team.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they've got an e-com team, they've got a marketing team, they've got a customer service, they've got a supply director. And I work with all these people, which I feel supported and I feel that I can really see the brand grow.
You feel like you have a bit of your life back?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It's very nice not getting the big invoices for the containers and having to make sure those are paid.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I can just pass that on. And I can actually really think about the brand now and what the brand strategy is and what's the next step rather than trying to manage a business.
You're working on the business, not in the...
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
a good way to describe
an amazing story.
Thank you.
You are so inspiring.
Thank you.
Are you enjoying that job? Do you feel empowered? Now you're an entrepreneur rather than an entrepreneur, I suppose. I guess you're keeping an eye on your baby.
Yes, that's exactly it. And I had the option that I could just consult for a few days a month for them, or I could become PAYE. And they said to me, what do you want to do? Tell us, to help us integrate Term into the business, what's your job role? How do you see it? And so I came up with my job description. I said, I really want to be part of the business because I felt if I wasn't part of the business, how could I actually push it forward and make sure they were thinking about Term daily and making sure that it was growing? So I wanted to know everybody in the company. There's 60 employees. I wanted to be part of it. So that's why I chose to join. And I'm actually really enjoying it.
Oh, that's great.
Which surprised me. And they'd say to me, how are you finding it? You know, even the CEO says to me, how is it, you know, going from being your own boss? Yeah. But they don't make me feel like I'm just an employee. You know, they treat me with respect that I'm the co-founder. Yeah. And they always call me the co-founder of Term. So I feel like they respect what I've done and also what I'm doing with them.
Oh, that's great. What a result for you.
Yeah.
So you're not ready to sail off into the sunset?
Mm-mm.
Right in the back of Brownsea Island just yet?
No.
As tempting as it sounds some days. what sort of opportunities, personalities, sectors are you really interested in?
I'm very keen on fashion, and I've been in the apparel shoe world for a long time, and I'd really love to do something in the fashion world where I can look at my background, my expertise, the things I've learned, and see if I can help someone else with that. That would be my ideal. I've spoken to a couple of people already about things, but yeah, I'm definitely open to working within the fashion world or shoes.
But your experience in e-com,
Yeah,
in product design,
yeah,
in demographic research, understanding the product, how to cut your cloth,
yeah.
and your experience in logistics. You've really,
It's the business side as well
Yeah.
as the creative side,
yeah,
the routes to market, and there are so many, and they're changing all the time.
and an eye on an exit,
Yeah,
keeping an eye on an exit.
yes,
Which is what I
absolutely.
admire most from this story, the fact that your route to exit was so clearly defined and
Yeah.
you worked to that point.
Exactly. It kind of landed sooner than we'd expected, and then we thought, right, well, we need to work towards it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't quite find someone straight away. And yeah, made it happen. And then it happened quickly when it was agreed.
Across our network, listeners, members, how would they get hold of you?
Yeah, the best way to get hold of me is via LinkedIn, Sharon, N-E-W, Sharon New. Look forward to hearing from you all.
What a journey Sharon has been on with Term Footwear. From a spark of an idea based on a childhood in South Africa to now exiting and staying on with her baby to integrate it within the new owner's wider business. Thank you for joining us, and I know lots of you listeners will hit Sharon up for advice. Or better, come to Poole, meet Sharon in person. She's a true success story, and we are proud to call her a member at Foundry Poole.